Today I want to show you my underwater camera vehicle. The water comes up to about there. The whole thing is about 20 pounds in weight. With just a light on the top, really, just to warn other model boats what's happening. I've put an aerial on the top just in case, because it sits so low in the water. The receiver is below water level. I wanted to make sure that it could pick up the signal. Unscrew the lid here. Can show you inside. It's very simply constructed. The main idea is just to keep the camera underwater. If we take a look inside, what we can see is a large empty space. This is where the video camera is going to sit. We have a clear front end, so the camera's got a clear view. At the bottom we have a movable base. The camera sits on this base. I'll just show you how it goes in roughly. I won't screw it down, just sit it on there, and it can be controlled with the radio. This gives you the opportunity to look down to the bed of the lake straight ahead, or when balanced properly can look slightly above the surface. As you can see, the clear screen here on the front. If I just move the camera around, you can see all that happens. The base is operated by a servo. There we are. Just that's all it does. Just rotates up and down. The camera looks out about that height. As you can see, the water level is 2 or 3 inches from the top. At the very bottom, I've installed a light, because sometimes it's quite murky. Although it's not that deep, it's quite murky below the surface, so I've installed a light just to give a bit of extra vision. The section that you can see the camera fitted to is the heavy ballast weight, of course. And now we take it down to the lake. First thing we want to know, will it keep the water out? Is it movable? And it moves quite well. It's pushed around by a springer tug. The whole assembly is just hooked onto the front of the springer tug with a couple of springs. The idea being there was that if the springer tug moves around when it's under power, it won't affect the actual camera barge too much. So all we'll do here is just to try a few manoeuvres to see if the tug can push the thing around quite well. It seems to be operating okay. You can see the blue light flashing on the top. I don't think it's really necessary. It was just a little tweak I thought I'd put in when I was building. And if we look down, we might be able to see the light.
You actually make it yourself?
Underneath.
Yes.
Well,
I mean,
all camera and that.
Yeah.
The other thing we've got.
Yes, she manoeuvres quite well.
Just added
I don't think we've got a problem there. We just do a couple of circuits just to make sure. And we can check there's no water got inside. Yeah, I think you can see the actual light now, can't you? If we look down, there we go. Whether we use it or not, I don't know, but it's there if needed. There we go. Bring her alongside. You can see the front is quite high at the moment, because in this test run it's not got the camera in there, which I intend to use at a later date. So she will be sitting a couple of inches lower than you can actually see in this picture. quite happy with that. The control seems to be very good. We'll have a look inside in a moment to make sure we have no water inside, that everything's good. Then we'll go for a camera test.
Give it a bit of throttle, see how it reacts.
In fact, what we're going to do today, we're going to survey the lake floor. I want to see how much debris there is down there.
Is that full bore?
You know, when your model boat's going along and all of a sudden the prop fouls and the surface look clear, you wonder where it picked up all that muck. And the other thing, of course, is as the water level goes down, I often wonder how much clearance there is between the keel of the yachts and the lake bed. I'm pretty sure there can't be a big gap. And just recently the water level's been dropping quite dramatically. So it'd be interesting to see just how much space we've got. Anyway, let's get underway with a proper test and get her all screwed in, and we'll lower her down into the water and we'll see what kind of sights we can see. Let's just see how much space there is down there between the lake bed and the keel of some of the yachts. Right, here we go then. Let's see what we've got. Well, at the moment the picture is quite clear. We'll just reverse away from the side of the lake, and there we go. Now we can just see the camera being rotated into its highest position. It just gives a view just above the water, just so you can see where you are in location to the rest of the lake. Already we can see the amount of debris, can't we, in the water. There's a yacht over there. If we head towards it, maybe we can get a view of the actual yacht and the depth of the keel. Just move the boat round slightly. Let's see if we can see. No, that was too quick. I couldn't see the actual bed of the lake and the keel at the same time. I tell you what though, it certainly shows you how much rubbish there is floating around, doesn't it, just below the surface. So on that day when you're sailing along, the old motor ticking away, and all of a sudden it all fouls up, now you can see what's under there. Ah, there's a better shot. Now look at that. There can only be, what, 6 inches between the bottom of that keel and the lake floor. Now looking at the water level today, it's quite reasonable. So if you've only got 4 to 6 inches on a good day, I can imagine when we've got days and months when there's been a water shortage, some of the yachts must be scraping the floor. Of course, as they get closer, they're picking up all the sediment and the weed. So I wonder how many yachts have been in a race and wonder why they're losing ground. Only to know that their keel is dragging along the bottom. Of course, depending on what part of the lake you're in, I mean, the floor does vary, doesn't it? So there could be a difference of half a dozen inches or so. swing the boat round again. What have we got? Oh, that's what's up there. Now we've got a duck frantically swimming away. But, what I want to try and do is see if we can get round again to see if we can get another shot of the actual keel of the boat and the lake floor. So, coming around now, look at that. As I say, this is on quite a good day, and there can't be more than 6 inches there between that keel and the muck on the bottom. I mean, it might not be apparent to the actual yachtsman because the sediment on the bottom is quite slushy. So the fact that the boat was slowing, the yachtsman would most probably just think he'd lost the wind there for a minute or two. But look at that. How much clearance have we got there? I would have said about 6 inches. Oh, that's quite interesting anyway. Let's have a look up again where we are. Get ourselves back to the bank. And as a quick test, I'm quite pleased with that. The system works. It's quite a good view. So all in all, quite a good project. What I'll do now, I'll try and take it to some other locations and perhaps we can find some treasure.